Hello. How's it going, guys? Christian back here again. So I just wanted to make a quick update video with what happened to my engine and what is going on now. I'm sure some of you are over from the Hunter Tune channel, Hunter Tuned. If you guys want, please go to Hunter's website. It's huntertune.com and pick up a shirt. They're super comfortable, and I think they're either 20 or 25. I think it's $25, and it's got he's got all the sizes and everything set up for you, and that would be awesome. But yeah, so let's go into this video. So these are the pistons that I got, or that were in my engine, and so the deal was we ran it. My fastest pass was a 16.0, my fourth pass of the night, and this is my first time I ever drag raced, and so I was kind of getting used to it, getting used to the car on the strip, and because I had been driving it on the street, but that was it. And so I'd never really pushed it since I built it and boosted it. So I took it by Hunter, and one day the tune went really lean, and so I was like, hey Hunter, we gotta fix this. And so I went over there and we tuned it, and so everything was looking fine. We went to the drag strip, and my first pass was a 16.9, second was a 16.3, third was a 16.11, and then I ran at like a 16.02, my fourth pass. And then the pass after that, and my 16.0 pass felt really good, but the pass after that didn't go so hot. I think I ran like a 17.4 or 17.5, and we got back, and I was smoking out of the valve cover, and so I didn't say anything, and I was just like, oh fuck it, run it, let it cool down, whatever, because I was running a little hot, and then so we were, whatever, and my oil pressure was really low, and I thought, it was probably the $10 oil pressure gauge and sensor that I got. And it turns out that when I put my engine together, some RTV from the oil pan, from the gasket that I made for the oil pan, had gotten into the oil pan and sucked up the oil pickup tube, and I was literally getting like 5 pounds of oil pressure, and so, not thinking anything of it, and not knowing at the time, I was like, oh, whatever. And so then that next weekend, I was like, hey man, let's tune my car up. I got this boost controller, see if we can go faster. And at this point, I was only on 8 pounds. So we had to go tune it, and it was raining and it was shitty, but my car was only making 200 horsepower, not even. So we went and tuned it, and we pulled over, and it was smoking really bad out of the valve cover. Well, my car was smoking in general, and I thought it was that turbo that I got from Michael, that was already smoking anyway. So we pull over, pop the hood, and it turns out that my valve cover is smoking really bad. And so what do you do when your engine blows up? You toss more boost at it. So we maxed out the stock map sensor at 12 pounds. Well, it's 11 and some change, but we turned up my boost controller to 12 pounds, and I just have a Blocks off-brand whatever. It cost me like $20. So we tossed that on there, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just run it, whatever. And then the next day, I started it, and it was smoking really bad. Like, if I moved, my car was clouding up the street. So I parked it that day, started tearing it apart the next day, and found this out. I am going to switch the camera real quick, and then, no, fuck it, I'm not even going to switch the camera. I'm going to turn this light on quick. That's why I didn't have the light on this whole time. So I pulled it apart, and if you guys can see that, oh yeah, you can. I cracked, this is the best of my pistons, is that huge crack. I had cracked all 4 of my pistons. And these look brand new when I tossed them on, and now they're dicked. Being an idiot, I did not gap my piston rings when I first got it together. And so when the pistons, I'll set you down here again. So when, I just pull this off real quick. When you don't gap your pistons, see, like, this is a really, really, really small gap. So it's probably sitting like this, you know, if you guys can even see that when it's sitting in the cylinder, and then when it gets hot, metal expands. So at that point they're touching, and every time that you know, whether it be this one or the second set, every time they came down, they were squeezing together, and it was prying up like that, or down, and that's what cracked my piston. So that's cool. Yeah, like I said, this is the best. You know, with that big ass hole missing, that is the best of my 4 pistons. All 4 of them are fucked. So there's that. We also went to time it that day after we found out when we were putting the boost controller on. It had jumped 180 degrees time. I trusted it, whatever, shit happens. And that wasn't my fault. That was not Hunter's fault. That wasn't Michael's fault. It was just the car did its own thing. And so it didn't do anything, because none of my valves are bent or anything. It literally just went 180 degrees. And shit happens. You pay the price of racing. So that's that story on my old engine. Now, my new one. For the time being, I am going to run my old turbo. If I want to stay cheap, I will throw rebuild the turbo, just to refresh and everything, because that's been running for, I want to say, like 5 years or so. And it's probably due. It is just an eBay turbo. And if I want to go the more expensive route, which I'm going to be doing anyway, is I will go through Hunter and get a VS Racing turbo, also available on huntertune.com. So I will be doing that in the near future here, just depending on what my budget is and everything. But I have these, and if you guys watch Hunter's channel, you know what I'm doing, kind of. I'm running these. They're Max Peating rods is the name of the company. They're D16 rods. They're $200 for the rods. They do not come with bolts, which I didn't know. So when I was going to do the LS rods, I bought the rod bolts for that, because when T-Bag had them, he busted a bolt. So they're this style where it's more of a stud. You push them into the piston, bob the cap on, and then run a nut on it. And so I bought that style. If anyone's looking for those, let me know. I obviously haven't used them. They're sitting in the package. The package is open because I was trying to see if they would work on here, but they will not. So if anybody wants those, they're brand new. I'll take like $40 for them. Excuse me. So now, these are the max speeding rods, and this is a stock, right? That's next to each other. This is a stock D16 rod, and this is the rod I'm going with. So, a lot beefier, and this has the piston on it. I know these are heavier by a little bit, and they're the same length as far as I can tell. If anything, no, they're the exact same length. I think they're 137 mil from the center of the journal to the center of the wrist pin. So there's that. I also got Viterra pistons and or YCP pistons. They're just the cheap $100 set of 4, come with the wrist pins and the clips that go inside that hold the wrist pin in. So I will show you this all stock bore. I wasn't going to bore out my block. I'm trying to do as little to my block as possible. If this bitch wants to go in here, I know they do. Hold on. Oh, maybe if I lined everything up. So this is what this setup will look like, and this is what the old setup was, and that is next to each other. I should probably not hold it by the rod. That's the difference, and those are right next to each other. One's not pushed one way. That's insane. Not 100% sure. If you can see, they deck. Well, you can't. Maybe a little bit on that one. They deck the tops and the bottoms and the sides of pretty much stock pistons to give you. I don't exactly know how it works with compression ratios and everything. I'm really bad at it. Sorry. But to give you lower compression. I'm not exactly sure what my compression ratio is going to be with this setup. Somewhere around stock, I know that. It's not going to be anything insane. And I'm doing a mist match. So all of my rod bearings are the same. All my main bearings are the same, but the two are not the same. They are actually, when I bought the piston rings for the stock pistons, it came with free bearings, and I thought that was super sketchy, and I paid $30 for the piston rings and the bearings. So I'm running those for rod bearings, and then for the mains, Hunter has some that I'm using. Don't know what brand they are. But yeah, that's what I'm doing there. I'm not grinding down my my crank. I'm building the bottom end. I still have the Y8 crank, which I know isn't super smart, but Michael ran his Y8 crank for 3 years on 30 pounds of boost. I feel like I'm not going to have an issue as long as my oiling is okay. So I cleaned out my oil pickup tube. I should be all good when it comes to that. I'm super excited for what's all happening now that my engine is being built. I'm waiting on rod bolts, like I said. I ordered them yesterday. They should be in by next Thursday. They're ARP 2000 grade bolts, the 3/8 size. So if anyone's looking at getting these rods, are the exact same, literally the exact same as the CX Racings that go for like 300. So I should be the good there. And yeah, other than that, not a whole lot's going on with my car. I need to redo my ball joint on my passenger side, which needs to be done. I have the ball joint, I just need to do it. I also, oh, this is very interesting. I dropped my engine out of the bottom of my car, right? So engine's here, engine's here, and then transmission is here for me. And so I undid this motor mount and the T-bracket and loosened the trans mount, and then took off the torque mount and dropped it and slid it out. And the transmission, my axles, everything's still hooked up to the tranny. I just dropped my engine out, set it on a skateboard, and rolled it out from underneath my car. I've never heard of anyone doing it that way. I held it in with a ratchet strap so I could take some tension off of it and ease it down versus just dropping it. Yeah, that was insane. I did it all by myself, and not really knowing what was going on. I just kind of learned what to do and did it. But yeah, everything should be going pretty well, and my car should be up and running by not this upcoming weekend, but the next one. And then I will be racing the 20s laundry. That was my laundry. I should be racing on the 22nd is my goal. That means, well, my real goal would be running the 15th. Don't think that's going to happen, seeing as how my rod bolts are coming the 14th. But whatever. We're going to try and do it as fast as we can. But my car should be up and running, tuned, everything by the weekend of the 15th. So I can race the 22nd and hopefully not run shit times like 16s and 17s. This time, hopefully my goal is to run a 14. It doesn't matter if it's 14.9, still a 14 in my book. So hopefully that's what happens. Yeah, if you guys want to let me know in the comments if you want to see anything more. If this video is too long, I'm not going to edit it right now because fuck it. Yeah, let me know what you want to see, what you want to see me do. If you want me to film with Hunter, or make videos with Hunter, obviously is going to happen. But if you want to see like a behind the scenes of Hunter tuned, I can do that too. If not, fuck it, whatever. Comment, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We have a lot more to come, and I will be making more videos. Right now this is on my iPhone. Hopefully with my first paycheck from my new job at Harbor Freight, I will be buying a GoPro. So I already have all the editing software and everything. I'm just looking for a decent camera so I can stop looking at the goddamn screen and look at the camera. So thanks guys, have a great day, great night, whenever you're watching this. And like I said, remember, like, comment, subscribe, share, do what you want to do. Peace out.